Hey guys, how many of us are sometimes get into a rut with our customers when our champion leaves or a key stakeholder leaves, and all of a sudden we only had one really good connection with that account, and when they're gone, it's like, oops. I actually was very pleased to stumble upon a blog by no other than Amit Levavi. The blog name is Grading Customer Relationships, and he talks about this issue and a solution that him and his team has actually developed. And I'm going to share that with you today. This was published actually in April 2021, and he has 5 more articles. So if you want to check him out, go to LinkedIn and check out all these other articles that he wrote about customer success. Really interesting stuff. One of the latest trends that he experienced, this is what prompted him to write the blog, was coupled by a string of problematic circumstances, and one of which, their champion left the company, and then his second in command goes out on the maternity leave, and then the third line barely knew what we were doing, and so it was really overwhelming for the ones that were left, and then for them, like, what are we going to do? This is why it is so important to have a relationship score and grade your relationship with a customer, and always have more than one key relationship, maybe even more than 2. Naturally, some of it is not in their control. Of course, it isn't, but some of it we could get under control and actually start scoring the relationship. I did another interview with Ziv Peled, who showed how he's actually tracking and scoring relationship with customers inside of Salesforce. So check out the link to that video below. I think there's a lot of insights on how to do that in a bigger company. And he actually showcases illustrative dashboards where he analyzes the level of depth of relationship by region, by CSM, by segment. So I think it's really super interesting how some customer success executives really take on a data-driven approach to eliminate, eradicate these kind of issues going forward. Before we continue, don't forget, subscribe to our YouTube channel and smash that notification button so that you don't miss out on any new videos. The goal of the score is for the CSM to understand where they stand in, the relationship with a specific account, and for the executive on highlighting areas where they can improve the relationship, again, by region, by CSM, by segments, etc., or industries even. Here he goes into how do they gauge the level of the relationship. So he's looking at a 4-scale approach. They have support person, trusted person, advisors, and friends. If you look at the Ziv Peled's video, he has a different scale. So I think it's really important to see different approaches and then decide what works best for you. Let's explore the framework that Amit is providing for his team. Support person. If you mark a person, a contact of yours as a support person, it's essentially reflecting someone that needs help basis. So they only contact you when they need some sort of a technical support or something wrong, let's fix it. So they only approach you when they need some help. So our help is taken for granted. Think how you feel about your internet provider support staff when your internet falls down. They only approach you when they need something, and even then they take it for granted. So it's a very low level of relationship. In terms of score, it's probably their lowest score. Trusted. So this is when we appreciated for the service. So at this level, we are expected to get good satisfaction scores in general and have the customer thankful and appreciated. So I think they get that. If you have thousands of customers, you can say, okay, did they open support tickets? But now what's their CSAT? What's their NPS score? But still, at this point, you're still deemed, as he says, tactical or confined to the solution and not really broadly for the entire domain. Okay, so then they have 2 more levels that they use to explore stuff. So one is the advisor and the other one is friends. Okay, advisor. So at this stage, the customer is actually seeking advice, not just when they have issues, but actually when it's like a broader context for their entire domain. So that could be when there's no problem, but they plan ahead in the future. So think about Salesforce CSM that is not only asked about how to enable this or that feature, but is consulted about best practices of pipeline management. So essentially, your CSM is deemed expert not just in your features and functions, it's not just there to fix issues, but they're consulting with him about processes, optimizing their organization, optimizing their strategy, or they're thinking about scaling something and they're consulting with the CSM on how to do that with the best approach and what else has he seen other customers doing. So that's advisorship relationship. Essentially, when you establish a trusted advisory rapport with your customers, you would log that contact as advisor. And then finally, it's friends. Here we shift to a personal level. I think you could see that mostly when you have a high touch model, and then you can open conversations or have some conversations around their kids, their latest vacations, and you get to know them a little bit better. Litmus test here is that, do we know something personal about our champion, or does our champion know something personal about us? Okay, look, there could be like a higher level than that, where you actually know the person, you went with them for drinks and things like that. So if you were a CSM that's responsible for a region that's close by to your house, you might actually go visit with them on site and then go have drinks after, post-Corona days, hopefully. So I think there's like a level 5 here that might be applicable if you have a very high touch model, like a white glove. Okay, so then he goes and says, look, there's an additional rule that you can't skip a level. So usually when you just meet a person, they would log them as support and then gradually move them into a higher level of relationship score. So you can't skip. And then even if you're very friendly, you can't be seen as trusted. That's why I'm not a big fan of the friends. I think it should be like, we actually went for drinks, we know each other, we're really, really friends. Like, just because they know when you went on your last vacation, it's probably not enough. So I think he probably means something deeper than this here, because you can get to this level very quickly, even in the first call. But this just means that this guy's going to keep in touch with you after they no longer use your system. That's what I would put in friends. I think that maybe the definition here could be amplified a little bit so that he can really jump to friends. That's kind of like the loophole he has there. Okay, ideally, we would maintain this relationship score for each contact, but that's not really realistic. So the average CSM is in touch with around 150 contacts on a regular basis. Okay, depends on how many accounts you have and how big each account is, I suppose, but I think that's realistic. And then you maintain one relationship score per account, which is supposed to reflect the general sentiment. What I've seen Zipele do is actually calculate the average for the account and then the average for the segment or the average for the CSM. But either way, just having something is better than nothing. I think that it's great that he has this approach. And again, if you want to see a different method, just check out that video. If you haven't heard of Questomer, it's actually a great application for customer success, especially if you have a lot of data and you wanted to slice and dice and kind of like predict your health score in a more sophisticated way. Go check them out. And until then, go check all of his articles and try to implement a relationship score and tell me what you think. Did it make a difference for you? If you like this video, give this video a like. It helps our channel and it helps this kind of content being shared with others. Forward it to other people. Check out the blogs that we recommend. And if you have a blog that you'd like me to review, put them in the comments below or DM me on LinkedIn. All right, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Help us continue to produce these kind of videos. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you at the next video.